that I had the privilege of enjoying a furnished 3-bedroom apartment in the Tunga low-cost housing estate of the corporation, which was fundamentally Corper's lodge. And when I came, because of the experiences of the previous year, the corporation accepted only me as a youth corper. You know the story of how I arrived early at corporation during the day I reported. And after me, 3 other youth corpers came but were rejected. And only me was accepted for 1984-85 service year. And so I enjoyed that flat alone. Thank you. Good evening, viewers. I like to welcome you back to the video of my life story. When we met last, I told you about my youth service that was in Niger State, particularly in Niger State Housing Corporation. Today, I would like to say that that was a very wonderful experience that God granted me opportunity to have, serving in a corporation that afforded me the opportunity of practicing my profession at that tender stage of my life. And of course, I enjoyed quite a lot of benefits that time will fail me to list all of them out. But I had also in the last video told you about the socials, how I made efforts to reenact the social life I had in Port Harcourt before coming to Mina to do youth service. I told you about the Melina Club and such escapades we did socially during my youth service. I wish to also add that I had the privilege of enjoying a furnished 3-bedroom apartment in the Tunga low-cost housing estate of the corporation, which was fundamentally Corper's lodge. And when I came, because of the experiences of the previous year, the corporation accepted only me as a youth corper. You know the story of how I arrived early at corporation during the day I reported. And after me, 3 other youth corpers came but were rejected. And only me was accepted for 1984-85 service year. And so I enjoyed that flat alone. That also added to me hosting quite a number of parties in the flats, freedom to do whatever I liked. And of course, I attracted all kinds of friends, very senior ones, who were the financiers of our social activities, and of course, my fellow corpers and most young people that are around the Tunga low cost at that time. So I could say that in the world language or parlance that I had a good day as a youth corper. But all the blessings, I made sure I consumed myself without referring back to those who brought me up or those who trained me, brought me to the stage of going to university, my parents, poor parents in the village. So of course, during the same youth service, my employers, starting from the general manager to the heads of my departments, those who were in charge of estate departments, they all took to me and liked me and gave me opportunities. I headed some assignments that should be regarded beyond the capacity of a youth corper. But because from day one, God helped me to prove myself, so there was confidence in trusting me with a number of assignments. Like I said in the last video, that also exposed me to making some extra money different from what other youth corpers had. So I could say that I had a good opportunity in Niger State Housing Corporation. And the crowning of it is the fact that on the day of passing out, I had already been prompted to apply to be retained or apply for employment. And I had applied not more than a week before the day of our employment, our passing out. And on that day of passing out, precisely, it was of great joy to me that I came to the Housing Corporation to pick up my appointment letter first before going to the campground. I mean, to the passing out ground. And when I got there and showed to my close pals that I had an appointment letter, it was a wonderful celebration for me and for those who were close to me and for everybody who was around to know that there was a youth corper. And I didn't see any other youth corper bringing up such at the parade ground. So all these were favor and grace that God bestowed on me, even when I knew him not. In a foreign or far away land, I wasn't an indigenous of Niger State, but the Niger State people, particularly those I work with, accepted me and entrusted me with things that I cannot tell all today. But God was the one who made it possible. So that was my youth service experience. And I would like to stop it at that. Even in the next video, tell you what happened after I've gotten my appointment letter. Thank you, viewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria has over 250 different tribal groups. Right now, there are 36 states in Nigeria. And there are more or less like 36 different nations. So for somebody who is from Abia State in the south, very close to the sea, to come all the way to the north and receive such favor as a corper and to be given a letter of employment on the day you finish service is a rare occurrence. Let me tell you also that governors always select one corper to be the best corper for the year. Mr. Bonta was not the governor's choice that year, but as you heard him say, no other corper came to the parade ground with a letter of employment, an assurance of his future. Nobody. If it is not God, how did Abonta get such favor? It's not from Niger State, from another state, an Igbo man for that matter. Niger State is a Muslim-dominated state. So for him, as a Christian and an Igbo man from the southern part of Nigeria, to receive such a favor, it has to be only God. Of course, you heard him. Whenever a young man who doesn't know God comes into such favor, money, and amenities, and perquisites of life, 3-bedroom flat to himself. You saw how he lost his way into parties and drinking and things like that. It's normal. But you see, through all of that, the finger of God was working out something that Abonta himself did not know. In the subsequent videos, you will hear how one thing led to the other, one thing led to the other, until you realized who it was that favored him all this while. You also think about your life. All the kinds of favors that you did not deserve, that came your way. And you think it's sheer luck, or that all those things are happenstance. No. God has a plan for your life, and He's working it out. All you need to do is humble yourself and recognize that there's no self-made man anywhere. It's God who makes people. In any case, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Send these videos to your friends. Let them follow this story. We're going to the juiciest part yet. Very, very interesting things will follow. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and God bless you.